Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Istiqomah. I'm from 5D English Education in IAIN Surakarta. Okay, I will presentation about my proposal under the title Improving Students English Vocabulary MA Ma'arif Cipogo through 3 phases of teaching. Yes. Okay, here are focuses on vocabulary in students of MA Ma'arif Cipogo, and have population in 11 students in MA Ma'arif Cipogo. Yes. Before I tell you more about my proposal, okay, firstly I will tell you about explain about vocabulary is the one of the important components of teaching of English in addition to other components such as structure, pronunciation, and intonation. Vocabulary has a very vital role. If a student is weak in the use of vocabulary, he cannot communicative, talk, and ideas clearly as he wants, both oral and written. He cannot express perfectly what he wanted to convey when he speaks or explain what he wants. He will or be able to read the text. It's both international material in school as well as in magazine, newspaper, and so on. Even he cannot understand the broadcast emitted by radio and television, that also in listening, reading, and comprehension. Ability will be constrained by a limited vocabulary. According further, Jeremy Herman said, "Work if it a piece of body language structure are the bonds that form the framework, while the vocabulary is the meat that makes the body has formed. Thus, one will not be able to communicate in English. One factor is the lack of master of vocabulary. This corresponds with the result of the previous research of the teaching description of Ma'arif Cipogo. One of the obstacles the student to understand the text both orally and written due to limited vocabulary. In the English curriculum of 1994, described the purpose of teaching English is that students are able to communicate in English with vocabulary 1,000 for junior high school, and for senior high school is 25,000. Okay, I think for me, from my knowledge, from my understanding, there are three strategies to teach vocabulary, with each considered relatively successful. I have several methods or experiment vocabulary through two stages. The first is students have to find their own means, both asking friend or open the dictionary. The second stage that has been provided. The third is students are trained to put the vocabulary to complete the sentence are provided. And the number three, the subject is each student shall be able to use in a sentence for 1 or 2 minutes verbally, or read half a page of the book using the new vocabulary. Okay, and then I will tell you more about my hypothesis. Okay, the hypothesis of the action for the study are a focused teaching vocabulary through three-stage base to develop, as I told you before. There are bases to develop an effective teaching vocabulary English for students in grade 11 the MA Ma'arif Cipogo. Okay, and then for my design, this research is a class 8 with form of action research, which aims to the extent to which effectiveness of teaching teaching, vocabulary tough, 3 stages of teaching. Research will be held in Chicago, High School, grade 11, school year 2016 and 2017. The study uses only the research. Ma'arif Chicago was chosen because of the student input that goes to school is relatively less good. Thus, the future if the application of teaching, vocabulary talk are the 3 P's teaching is successful. It means that this approach can also be used for other schools whose input the technique to good. And time and place of my research is the study was conducted over a span for 3 months, are September and November 2016, and the places was in MA Ma'arif Chicago. And the time of my research is due in 3 months after the second test is it is in February 2017, and then I have to do about my population. My population is student of my average Chicago, grade 11, who will there several okay, and then my data analysis. My data analysis for the first is data observation and achievement of learning outcomes, such as student exercise on the use of vocabulary in writing and not the chances of training in the use of vocabulary orally. The second, the recording was made by a team of receivers with less attention to learning steps. And then, all observation during the learning process discussed in the team draw conclusion and preparation of report. And then, I have the my stage actions. First action is coordinative meeting between members of the research other. And then, setting a tag of January. And then, established vocabulary will be taught according to the genre. And the fourth, providing pre-test, and then teach vocabulary with a cheaper teaching method, as I told you before. And the sixth is test give observation or achievement. And number 7 is discussion, and then giving test the second stage, and then discuss the result and complete the report. Okay, then I will tell you about my data in chapter 5. There are the result of the search. Yeah, you can look here. There are first one is my pre-test result. Prior to the teaching of vocabulary with chapter stage first, pre-test given advantage to see the result obtained by student before the learning process continues. Before the student get 3 A's. Then this score is not really good. The more the student is not can cross well, and the average is just 4.49. And after this, number 2, test result of first phase. 7 days. This is the result after the student have passed the teaching in 2 pace. 7 days after purposes given vocabulary lesson by using a 3-case string, comprehensive learning, and directly how the observation developed is afterwarding. And you look in here, the score is good. And the average is rise till the average is 7.76. And when we compare, I compare the pre-test and the first test, the result of the follows. All the student is rise. It's fairly satisfied. From this data, we can be seen one health teaching and learning process. All students, 100% of student has increases. This means the three process learning is quite effective. Increases student gain significant in the 72.82%, and the last is 11 of the 40 students are 27.5% of students obtained in an increase over 100%. And then after in February there are test results of the second base, and we can look here the score. The score is there are students that rise and there are students got down, and there are also the student still have the same score, and the average is we can look is 8.15. The second exam was conducted in February 2017, while the first batch in September in 2026. That means that's period about 5 months. Comparison of the result, the absorption of the first set and the second set is follows. There are several students was discount, rise, and constant in their score. And we can look the average here. For the first is 6 point. I'm sorry. The effort for the first average is 7.76, and then we can look. There are 8.15. From this data, we can base the whole after 3 months, after 5 months of learning. The result did not decline as expected initially, but increasing 7.76 becomes 8.15, an increase of 15%. Of the 4 students have 27 people or 67.5 increase to 7 people are approximately 70.5. This line will 6 people are about the 5% result remains. Okay. After that's all my explanation about my proposal, and we can conclude teaching vocabulary chapter state of teaching of the in public of MA Ma'arif quite effective in increasing the achievement of students before and after the learning process is significant. Number 2, in private teaching vocabulary talk the third target is SM in MA Ma'arif to 58%, and then the percentage of observer effective for learning process occur was 77.60%. And then the percentage of student after absorption of appraisal after 5 months of the learning process was 81.50%. And based on the tick above, teaching vocabulary chapter is quiet and effective can be alternative for teaching vocabulary in everywhere in every time. Okay, I think that's all for my explanation about my proposal. I hope my explanation and my proposal, my research, it will useful for our life. And I'm sorry if I have mistakes. I apologize. Uh, I apologize you, and thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.